This
Being sent to a third party, I agree.
setting up the meeting. We're waiting. It may actually be. There we go. We are
Being sent to a
live.
third party, I agree. Oh, meeting. We're waiting.
Okay. Welcome everyone to a VO Booth Besties podcast. We're here to help working voice actors. You can tell we haven't done this in a while.
I know,
We
it's been
used
a
to
minute.
just roll right out. We're here to help working voice actors get your most important questions answered by the industry pros who know. If you haven't joined our amazing VO Booth Besties Facebook group, well, you should, because we're a lot of fun. We also encourage you to check out our YouTube channel, where you can access more than 80 podcasts, a demo producer series, and tons of other great content. So today we have the amazing Liz Atherton joining us. Hi,
Hello,
Liz.
hello, hello.
And Liz is with us today because she's got a new thing happening and she wants everybody to know about it. And Jen, you're part of it too.
Yeah, so I'll let Liz take it away.
Hi, everybody. And if you have questions of another sort and y'all want to bring them, please feel free. I'm not sure how these podcasts, the total format of them. That said, thank you for inviting me on. I'm doing a thing called the voiceover audition checkup. And it's been there in the past, but I don't think anybody did much with it last year. And so I brought it back up. Diana Birdsall was the first to do it. And but I changed a little. I think it's really important that people have the avenue to feedback from the actual person who is hiring VO. You know, as a talent agent, which I did that for 3,210 years, 0.5 days. As don't ask me to repeat that, it won't happen. But as a talent agent, of course, I'm the first filter on who do I want to bring into the stable. As a casting director, I've got an audition. How many do I want to send forward? Both of those are gateways. That's the ultimate gateway. The ultimate suggestive power, because that's what they're hired to do, is to wield suggestive power. And the client, of course, gets the final say. Well, I'm not calling clients in here for y'all to ask them VO questions. It's not just not happening. But you can't get any closer than the producers. So I'm really, really fortunate. And I think we have 8 or 9 lined up. And I was going to have that in front of me, but I can recall them. And the layout is on Mondays or Tuesdays. It just depends on the schedule. We're having a Q&A, and that's where Jen comes in. I don't know if you all have had the opportunity and good fortune to be in a meeting with Jen Greenfield, but aside from her always having some good tidbits and advice to share, she's an exceptional moderator. And as chitty chatty as I can be, um, I need somebody that can hear in my voice, and she does it very well. Jen, get us out of this. or Jen goes, what are they saying in the chat? Because listen, I'm not going to chat with any of you. If any of you decide to join us, I will not be chatting. I'm a talker, and so Jen is coming up on board to moderate us, to keep us going, and she can do that because she's well versed in all of this. And our first one is Meredith Roach. And I have known Meredith many, many years. I knew her as a talent agent. I knew her as casting director. Matter of fact, she hires me a lot. Well, hires is a big opposite word, but she uses me a lot for her big projects, which is great for her, great for me, great for the platform. And so the idea is Meredith will come in to this meeting on Mondays, or whoever the producer is and their day, and it's a Q&A. And it's interesting because another guy we have coming up, Jim Price, reached out to me. He goes, I'm starting, I don't know what all I'm going to talk about, because he's asking me questions about the Q&A. He goes, but I'm starting to write down what made this VO sound good and what didn't. He goes, they're taking it seriously, putting together notes that go through his thought process. So for those who attend on Mondays, and you can come in as a participant wanting to go through the whole audition cycle, and it's a whopping $30. Or you can come in for $10 and just listen. And you still participate, but just listen to what's being said. Both of those are valuable. But if you participate, then you'll get the audition after the Q&A. And you'll have until Wednesday. You'll audition. One of the benefits of Cast Voices is that a casting director can actually go in there and put feedback. So this Meredith is going to go and actually listen to, it's her copy that she provided. Matter of fact, it's copy we used for a real project we did. But she's going to go give you feedback. And if nobody else you listen to this, you listen to these producers, because they're the ones that are where the rubber meets the road. They are in the room with the client, Whole Foods or Academy or, Shiner Beer, whatever. They're in the room. So that's kind of, I chatted on, you know how I am, but that's kind of what I look at as the VO audition checkup. And I just think it's invaluable. I've had some people already sign up for 3 and 4 sessions, and my response to them is, you get it. And I don't mean it's because, guys, at $30 a piece, and the producer getting the lion's share of that. Nobody's making a lot of money off of this, right? This is not this big, huge, let's get somebody rich. This is absolutely valuable information. And some of the people we have coming up, we have a guy that works for Area 23, a guy that works for EcoBoo, and normally I wasn't going to bring in anybody of, who we're all really familiar with, but I don't know that you all have ever gotten the opportunity to sit in with Uncle Roy. But Uncle Roy has done a lot of hiring in the VO business. Mm-hmm. And he's going to be, what were you going to say?
Oh, no, I'm agreeing.
He's fabulous.
I've gotten auditions from Roy.
Yeah, hey, I have too, yeah.
And not only that, he's such a sound expert. So he is going to be one of our guest judges. So
let's kind of break this down a little bit, Liz, because you just touched on something that was a perfect launching off point. And that is, first of all, I know a lot of voice actors are going to go, what qualifies me to participate? Maybe I'm new to voice acting. Maybe I've never booked a job before. So one of the things that I know you'll say, but I just kind of want to go there, is a lot of times you don't have to book the job to even understand if you're even in the right lane. Your booth, your sound, your delivery, all the things. So kind of speak to that, so people who might be kind of apprehensive and go, yeah, I'm new, I've never booked work, but this is still this is part of auditioning. This is a value add. So talk to that.
And thank you. It is a value add. It's a value add as long as you are able to actually audition. Because I have had some people reach out. I'm new to VO. I'm just getting started. And my question is, do you have a booth? Because to be auditioning and getting feedback on auditioning when you're not set up to really audition is not a value add. The audit of the Q&A would be valuable.
Sure.
But participating at the full, Monty would not. Hold on. What was the other question? Other part of that question?
So I was saying, maybe I've never booked work before. So, keep going.
Yeah. If you've never booked work before, it's a great opportunity, especially if you've got your booth set up, because you may find out the very reason you're not booking. I will tell you, and you've got my buds here, my VO booth besties, have heard me say this 1,000 times, which is 41% of the auditions that come through my desk, the sound stuff. And these come through from seasoned professionals, from people who are $1 million a year. Something happened. They forgot to do a calibration that morning or that week. And it comes to me and it's patootie-ootie. It's a new word. And so, and I can't go back and tell everybody because it's a little bit of an unfair advantage. I don't know. I really am transparent and I like to keep things fair. And if you sent an audition in and your sound sucked, I know my job is to find the right person for the client or for the producer, and I get that. But I also feel like I have so many great choices here. I don't think it's necessarily fair. There are exceptions to that rule, and I get to do that because I'm a casting director, and I don't get judged. That said, if 41% of the auditions coming through suck, that already helps me dwindle it down a great deal. And this is something else these girls have always heard me said: email yourself your last audition, take your laptop, go sitting out in the living room and listen to it. And I will tell you that I talked about this with several of these producers that I've had conversations with, and they agree. They're like, yeah. And they said, we're either listening to it there or we're listening to it on our mobile.
Yep.
But
Yep.
I'm telling you folks, if if you are all queued up to be sending your perfectly sounding audition to a studio with all the most state-of-the-art equipment to listen to, you need to reset. In the audition world, we're way back over here. I am listening. I listen on a laptop. And no, I don't put on headphones. I could, that would help. But the reality is I'm trying to listen at the same level that the client I'm sending it to is listening. And I'm spot on. I know that's exactly, Roy might be different, but that's what I'm doing. I'm sending it that way.
So this is really your
my
chance to show, this is you're always saying a second chance at a first impression with the 2-take thing, but this is also, you're going straight to the producers. So what you're delivering, this is the audition checkup part of it. And it sounds like they're excited, and they're going to be giving some really, I hope, honest feedback and really help people level up.
That has been my discussion with them. I'm like, look, don't worry about hurting feelings.
Mm-hmm.
Be tactful, be constructive, but be truthful. You sugarcoating, or just one, sugarcoating, or two, just say, hey, that's great. It's not helpful.
No,
it's not.
Right.
And, they're not going to know who you are necessarily. They're going to have your name. Now, the beautiful thing is that we're doing all this in cast voices. You like all that? We're doing all this in cast voices. So, you will, any participants at the full range will be on her roster in cast voices, which is cool. What's a win for our company? Y'all know I'm transparent. What's a win for our company is that I get the producers actually using the platform. I'm so excited about that too, because I know if y'all been on there a while, we've seen an uptick lately, and I'm really glad that we're having more activity than we have, but we're still we're at the bottom of a very deep well that is going to Fiverr and Voices and all these other places that really get better talent on ours. But that said, I keep losing my train of thought. I'm sorry.
Sorry. So talk about 2 takes. Are we going to assume that there will be a 2-take requirement as part of this audition process?
So far, yes. I leave that up to, but I know Meredith, and Meredith, if anybody's listening, here's a little tidbit that may or may not come out in the Monday meeting. She really likes the storyteller aspect to the read. I don't get that often, but when she and I were even talking about this, she really wants to hear the story being told. So keep that in mind. And I do a workshop, and in my workshop, I say, especially when we're doing commercial copy, or any copy, but commercial copy, are you the narrator, or are you the actor in the story? Right? And decide that, because a lot of copy for commercial can go either way. I was walking down the street one day, blah, 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 but you're pretty much the actor. Or were you walking down the street one day, you're the narrator. You know what I mean? Set that intention going forward, and with add for her the caveat that chances are you might be the narrator because she wants you to tell the story, but you can tell it either way. But anyway, I digress.
So there's a process to get involved in all of this too. We want to make sure everybody knows where to get signed up, how to get signed up.
Well, so for those of you that are watching, keep in mind that the person that's saying she's Liz Atherton with that crazy wig is not me. I cannot tell you. I received email going, I liked your skin. And I'm just like, I'm gonna let them keep thinking it was me. And Katie is a hoot and a holler. But the way you get on is you email me, and I will, which one you want to be at, because we already have people signing up about 4 or 5 weeks ahead. So in the subject line, put VOAC Meredith if that's the one you want. And I'll send you all the details. And the way it will go is Monday's the Q&A. The audition will go out that night. You have until Wednesday to send it in. You'll have your feedback by Saturday, and on Sunday we'll announce the winners. We are giving a prize for this. You'll be on, everybody who participates at the 30 will be on Meredith's roster on Cast Voices. But she's going to pick who she would have booked. And that person will get a 1-year pro on Cast Voices, and they'll also get $100 cash. So, there's some win for the effort. So you really are auditioning to get booked and paid. So
Nice.
it's it's a good thing that's how you get on. And there's a lot of PR going on around it. But we also have a Facebook page, and it's just called VO Audition Checkup. So check it out.
We'll put all that in the show notes when we put
thank
this
you.
on Facebook too. So
y'all are so terrific. Thank you for letting me chit chat about this. I'm excited about it because I learned too. I haven't worked necessarily with all of these producers that are coming on board, and I'm pretty thrilled.
Yeah, we send people to the 2-take workshop all the time. There was so much good stuff in there. All those golden nuggets.
My little wisdoms. Yeah, I have a couple of workshops I do. One of them is the second chance at a first impression. The other one I do is the 3-second workshop, because you got to get your message out in 3 seconds. And I really like these workshops. And then my favorite one is called the Sybils. And the Sybils is how many people are, if you know the movie The Sybil, right? And Sybil had 18 distinct personalities that didn't know each other. And if this is your roster in JT's studio, how many Sybils does she represent? And it's not just
want to
you.
know.
I know. Right. Well, listen, we're talking voices, just voices here, not the Mendel cuckoos.
Oh, yeah. I know. Of course.
How many voices do you know? Did we freeze
up? Your workshops are.
Can you see me, Jen?
Oh, you're frozen.
Oh no!
But we can hear you.
Come back to us.
Okay, till we get Liz back, I will just go through and let you know that. So we've got Meredith on January 20th. On Monday, January 27th, it's Greg Maloka from Ego Boo. Tuesday, February 4th, it's Scott Shankland from Sweetbrush. And Monday, February 10th, Michael Glennon from Area 23. Monday, February 27th, Kelly Kuzik. March 3rd is Ron Knight from Knight Media. So Liz has all these already lined up and ready to go. And that list is available on the Facebook page, I assume?
Yes, it is. Yeah, sorry, I don't know why we froze it there. Sorry about that.
It's okay.
Yeah, it's on and it's in the ads that go out that you might see. But yeah, on the Facebook page you'll find it. We'll get more organized. I'm rather thrilled that I was able to get people to agree to do this. And so, I mean, not that I wouldn't, but now the making sure everything's oiled and cogged and all that done right, I'm learning. But yeah, I'm excited. We had 10 more people sign up while you and I have been on here.
So Liz, let's talk about the Cast Voices side of it too, because that's where you and I are really connected. I also help out folks. It's like, what do I charge? $10 to do, I know it's peanuts, but just to do a full audit of your profile. So there's a lot of people who may not have a profile through Cast Voices, and we need to make sure that they understand there is a free option. But the way Cast Voices works is you really need to make sure your profile is optimized to free or paid to get picked up for the jobs that are coming in. It's important to have keywords and everything. Go ahead.
And Jen's right. And Jen does these audits, and it's so fabulous that she does them, because people will check that they are SAG and that's great. But if you're checking that you are SAG, we don't have a lot of SAG projects going over our platform right now, so you're not going to see anything. So you can do other option checks, and that's what Jen can take you through. The way our platform works, free, standard, or pro, you're all equal in the eyes of the audition world. You're all equal. And so where standard and pro come into play is if you need a website, if you need a place to archive everything you've ever done, because you can. If you need, I mean, the website piece alone, because it lays out like a website, blah, blah, blah. So you can go get all that done. But in this case, the more stuff, and you get standard and pro or media, you get more demos, you get more this, you get more that. The more stuff you have, so as Meredith's going through, she can go look at you, and you're going to be as populated as you're populated. You can put your resume and all that stuff on there. So that's what the upgrades are for. But what Jen does is, because people they don't know the nuances of, when I check SAG, does that mean I'm only going to get SAG? Well, yes, that's what that means. And she takes you through that, which is such a, and plus you get to meet Jen and visit with Jen, who doesn't want to do that. So it's $10. It's $10. No, again, no, I'm telling you that Jen and I are taking a round the world cruise on this money that we are making here.
Our tens and tens of dollars.
No, but it's a really good deal. And Jen has been, helping out and part of the Cast Voices team for a couple of years now, and we're just thrilled.
But they do need to have a Cast Voices profile if they are participating in the audition feedback part.
Correct.
Of this
workshop. If you're just auditing, you don't. But if you're, and when you get there's some securities built in, because this has come up more than once. Whatever email you use to sign into Cast Voices, that cannot change. It cannot change because it is tied to a lot of security in the system. What you show on your profile and all that other kind of stuff is fine. But that one that you sign in on is where they get the roster information, all that other kind of stuff. We'll make that more accessible next round, but right now that's what it stands for, where it stands. But Cast Voices, we're doing this whole audition through Cast Voices. So once the audition goes out, it's going to go audition. It's going to go out to everybody on Meredith's roster. Okay? And everybody on Meredith's roster, you're going to get the audition. And you've got basically 2 days to get it in. And it runs through. And then Meredith can start making feedback just as soon as you submit. Don't hurry up and submit for that reason, because she'll do them all anyway. But we give her until Saturday evening to finish with all of her input. And we do have a max. And if we hit that max of participants, then she's going to have a lot of work. I mean, it's 50. It's not the end of the world, but it's still a max because, 5 or 10 minutes a piece, that becomes a lot of time. Mm-hmm. But, and then she'll let me know Saturday night who her winner is. And on Sunday, I'll announce. And then we go to the next producer the next Monday.
So every producer is going to have their own roster?
Uh-huh.
Cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the one guy that bought 3 sessions already, and I looked at who he picked, and I'm like, he checked them out. He was smart. And all my response to him, outside of telling him how to pay and all that kind of stuff, was, you get it.
Yeah.
I mean, one of the guys we have coming is Scott at Sweet Rush. I always want to call him Sugar Rush, but it's Sweet Rush, which they do so many e-learning projects, lots and lots of them. And so I'm excited because that's a double roster thing. Chances are you'll be on his Cast Voices roster, but you'll also be on his specific roster for whatever length he's doing it specifically for non-American accent speaks English. So, anybody, if you have a Russian accent, you do really well, you can audition in the Russian accent. And so his is going to be very tailored for that kind of way. again, the big thing on this is that it's the horse's mouth. God, they probably love me calling them that, but it is the person who makes those decisions or truly guides those decisions uh, that you're going to get the feedback from. And I'm real proud of that, because and people will, I think, quickly understand how valuable that is.
Right. I mean, it's so much more valuable than, yeah, I mean, Jen and Alicia and I send each other auditions and our demos and say, take a listen to this, tell me what you think. People post it in our website and say, hey, here's my new thing. What do you think? But you're going to get the polite answer from a lot of those people a lot of the time, and you need to know what the decision makers think about what you're doing. That's the voice that matters. And I should not be tapping on my desk while we're doing this. But here I am.
Oh,
and this is why we don't tap on the desk, right? Because we lose the camera. Okay, we totally lost Liz, and then my camera fell off. So,
well,
welcome back to live.
But I know, and I'm in the van. But JT, you're so on point, and we've heard this. That was really what we were hearing at the end of the year last year. Is certainly for the voice actors who are trying. I mean, it's kind of something I've been touting for a while, but it's getting in touch with it's connecting with the decision makers. You said it. I'm just reiterating it. But even casting directors, although good to connect with, they're still not the client, the buyer, the producer, the director. And so having these very affordable, just kind of gimmies
Well, well, listen, anybody that knows me at all, it's not philanthropic. This isn't philanthropic, but I have a real big sense of ownership that we're all entrepreneurs in the VO community, and let's be as fair and as equitable, that's me, as we can. Let's really talk the truth. I mean, you guys do that all the time. Let's really talk the truth. If we can make it work for this price point, let's make it work for this price point. I know, I know for a fact I could have tripled the price point and still did well. But I felt like it was more important to make it affordable to as many people as possible, because if 50 people sign up, that means 50 people got such great advice, individualized for them at a price that was affordable. And maybe they'll learn from it and they'll want to do another one and another one, because to me, I've been wanting, Jen knows, I've been wanting to do this for a while. I mean, my other harebrain of an idea is to set up dinners in central locations and have somebody that everybody wants to, Meredith, as the guest of honor at a table of 8. And everybody pay their $100 for their $50 meal. We pay Meredith a stipend to buy her dinner, and you ask everything you ever wanted to ask. Actually, those are ones that casting directors would be great at. And that's what everybody wants to know, what's the sweet sauce. But anyway, I digress.
Well, so that said, let's talk about, what does this Q&A look like? Like, how, is it a free for all? Are people dropping questions into the, into the chat? Are, like, kind of, inevitably there's going to be a gap in experience, so what do you kind of see that part of it looking like?
My concern for this one is not the gap in experience. And I'll say that because for anybody that's listening, you're coming to this because you're auditioning and you want to know what people think. Whether you've been doing this for 22 minutes or 22 years is not relevant to me in this effort. But the kind of questions and the way I see the Q&A doing, and this is kind of important, so we'll just have this open conversation about it, Jen, is there's a little bit of introduction. There's a little bit of rah-rah, sis-boom, bah. And then people won't have the copy yet, right? They won't get that until the audition. Because if I gave them the copy for her to completely break down, you wouldn't be getting the feedback from what you've been sending out in auditions. You know what I mean? So I see the conversation, because it's got to be real or as close to real as possible. You know, I see Meredith talking about what stands out to her or does not stand out to her. I see her talking about process. I think process is important. People need to understand where they are and how things change. I want people to ask her questions like, do you remember certain people and bring them back another time? And I can tell you, yes, she does. Because I know they hired this one voice through me that ended up becoming their spokes voice and has done now, he's made through this one, excuse me, over 20 grand, maybe 30 grand by now. Which started out as a $3,500 gig. I don't bring a whole lot of $3,500 gigs, but I will tell you that pay attention to who this is for. And you can certainly get hung up on rates. And I'm a GBAA, yes, GBAA, I love thee. Spout the words and rate guide. But I would be more in my decision tree if I were going to audition for something. I would also be looking at who the client is and what the product is and what the buy is and are they close to fair and what does this mean? What could this potentially mean? If I were an auditioning person for that, I would also go out and listen. Go to iSpot and go see what were the last 3 ads they put out? What seems to be their vocal branding? You can do all that really quick.
And that was something that changed with Cast Voices too. I've noticed, because I've been with you since the very beginning. And
yay.
First, same thing. The first client that I booked with Cast Voices still comes back to me. And so that's a client I've been able to keep. But I know one of the things that people used to complain about is that the auditions would fill up so fast, and I've noticed now that has leveled off. So you have time to do the research. You have time to see who the client is, to go look at their work, go to their website, and make sure that you're giving them the audition that matches their brand.
Part of that is if I know who's going to post a project or I post it for them, right? I can educate them about why they want to bring in more than 40 auditions. I can say, yes, bring in 100, bring in 200. There's a reason that you want to do that because you're going to have the same 41% rule that I have. Minus 3 dB by the way is my preferred. But now there's more opportunity. But where we're transparent there, which I know people were really angry about, but the reality is if a casting director is only going to look at 40 auditions, I don't care what platform they're on. If they say they want 5,000, but in their mind they only want to look at 40, at least on ours they say I only want to look at 40. And somebody asked me one time, well, when they do and they're only bringing in are the first ones they get, a bunch of wannabes. I'm like, it's absolutely the opposite. Because of, I guess, maybe who I am or where we got or all these beautiful thank you pathways that align. We have the creme de la creme of VO on Cast Voices. We do. And when an audition goes out, most of you guys are in your booth.
Yep.
And you're on it. So the auditions that go through to casting, because they go in first come, sorry, Penny has to change the world right now, Penny. Are from people that are full-time VO and they're no. I guess someone's coming up. Look, there's no good God, it's the UPS guy. You would think that the world is coming to an end. Sorry. First time in the new office with the window right there. With neighbors. Sorry. Where was I?
Creme de la creme, the professionals are in the booth, ready to go.
Thank you. So it's not been a detriment for the casting to say, I only want to see 40. And I want to remind people, we have over 200 casting people on Cast Voices. So people think I'm the only one putting out the auditions, and I'm not. Mine are usually a little bit more thoroughly written out, I'm guessing. But I wouldn't say CD casting services or something. I think I put that little thingy on there. But that said, yeah, that's it. Yeah, it's not a problem, and yeah, people have backed off griping about it because one, it makes no sense once you understand the logic behind it. You're griping at a platform when casting absolutely loves that option. But one thing we still will do is we're still going to do a flow over. So if you don't get in the first 40 and they only wanted 40, for the next couple of hours, we're going to leave it to flow over so that your auditions will go into their, coffer if they don't find who they're looking for.
Okay. All right. So let's recap. It's the voiceover
audition checkup. Yes.
They will be on Mondays. It's a process. You get the Q&A on Monday. You get your script afterward. They're due in by Wednesday. You get your feedback by Saturday. And on Sunday, the the person who's running the workshop with you that week will select the winner. The winner gets $100. They get the premium, the Pro Cast Voices membership, and you're on that person's roster. And it's just a great opportunity to get the feedback that we all really need.
Oh.
And to get signed up, you're going to email.
You're freezing on me. Maybe can you hear me at least?
We can hear you. Don't worry about it. So if you want to sign up, you're going to email Liz at castvoices.com, and it's going to say VOAC dash whoever the name of the producer is that you want to work with. And then she will share the payment process with you after that.
Yeah. And again, this will be in the show notes, Liz's email address, how you get signed up for your Cast Voices profile, and also the Facebook page link.
Yep. Yay!
Okay.
Well, I think this was good. I'm excited. Are you excited, JT?
I am. Actually, I'm looking through the list. I'm like,
Yeah.
I could always use feedback.
I know, right?
Can you see me again?
Yes.
There you are.
I just keep getting dropped out of the meeting. It's the weirdest thing. It's boom, I'm gone. Boom, I'm gone. My apologies. Thank you, girls. Thank you for all the nice words. I do think it's a really strong value for $30.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. My gosh,
yeah,
I can't
I
buy
think
lunch for my family
ROI,
for $30.
I know. Yeah, we have some good producers on there, and especially once I have some track record. I don't think I'll get more. I already know of 2 other producers within Nomad. One that I did for him was Yeti. I know I want to bring him because he's doing that kind of caliber stuff. But
Awesome.
baby steps.
All right. Well, Liz, thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing the information on the VO audition checkup. Jen will be moderating those, so you'll see her face again. And all of the information you need will be in the notes underneath the video as soon as I get a chance to go in and do that.
All right. Thanks, everyone, for joining us. Have a great rest of the week.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
And let me stop our live.